with all those wild accusations about, me giving a supari via Sam Balsara. Just wanted to clarify, nothing of the sort. The only thing I hope to now kill is the presentation. So let's hope that goes well this time. So let me dive straight in, right? I always like to start at the beginning of time. How many of you are familiar with this era? None, because you weren't there. This was millions and millions of years ago, and really marketing hadn't yet begun then. The only marketing philosophy at play was that, you would get eaten up by a bigger fish. So it paid to be as large as possible. Things moved on. This is an era we are all familiar with, the Jurassic era. Here, obviously, the more aggressive you were, it allowed you to grow a little bit more. Things rapidly moved to the broadcast era. Only Vikram Sakuja got that joke, but yeah. And things started to get maybe a little smarter, but I don't know why we still call it the idiot box. A few more years happened and we entered this area of precision, right, where we wanted to be very precise about where our advertising lands, because for years we were trying to solve that debate about where does half of my budget go and things like that. So the area of precision started, and we all remember a lot of those pesky SMSs that would hit us when we entered a mall. Things again moved very rapidly to an era that we are pretty much in now, which is called the predictive era. Sorry, I converted my Google Slides to Microsoft PPT, so some of those dots have moved, but imagine what it would look like. So we are pretty much in the predictive era, where it's really the algorithm which actually will predicts where your next customer is going to be and serves the ad almost in real time. But it didn't rest there. All that machine language learning and all of that came outside the hood, and we are now firmly in the beginning of the generative era, where I was going to play this video. I created this video of a dolphin gliding seamlessly using Gemini, which is a Google product, but Microsoft is not letting me play that right now. But just so that you know all these eras, and there are some commonalities to this era. I'm not saying anything, but my objective, Sam, a couple of years ago I told you this, is to get you to deliver a keynote on AI at one of our events, and I will push you a little bit more on that. But we're all fortunate where we are seeing all of these play out in front of us, and we'll all live to tell amazing tales. And a couple of sessions, Gauravji is going to talk about AI, Vikram is going to talk about AI. So it's very exciting times. But what does all of this mean on another kind of evolutionary scale, which is happening, which happened here? And this is really like 100-year-old story. I tried to first paint a million-year or a billion-year story. This is just a 100-year story in that sense. That is John Logie Baird, who invented the television. And pretty much, things have evolved so rapidly. By the way, it's really funny because I actually tried to search for a color TV on Amazon. Color TV is what we all grew up with, right? The front of the audience. And I was just trying to search for a color TV, and everything that came was smart. Apparently 14 million smart TVs got sold in the last 3 or 4 years. And every subsequent TV that's going to get replaced is going to be smarter in that sense. So I'm here to talk about whether CTV or the connected TV, and Harit said it's not just broadband, it's many ways to get a TV to become smarter or connected to the internet. The CTV or the smart TV, whether it is the smarter choice. The answer is a resounding yes, but I'll kind of lay it down with a few more data pieces as I go along. I was actually going to play the first ad that ever played on electronic TV. It was for a watch called Bulova. Sam remembers it. And I was also going to play the first color TV ad that played in Indian television. It's a 2-minute ad, actually. It's really fantastic. But we won't play that right now. But really, what does this mean for a marketeer, right? All these evolutions. We saw how media has kind of evolved. We saw how TV or television has kind of evolved, or ways of consumption has evolved. But what does it really mean? As a marketer, we all grew up with this paradigm. When I was a brand manager many years ago, it was about the right message at the right moment. That was what, at Diwali, we have to put out our ad. Something like that is how most brand managers, media planners thought. As a few years evolved, it became, I talked about the precision era. So it became about, zero wastage, that I need to have an ad for the man. I need to have an ad for the man in Punjab, as Harit seems to be obsessed with. I need to have an ad that can actually work for the whole family. So we started to become very precise, and it became about the right person with the right message at the right moment. As we moved into the predictive era, it became all about insights. The algorithmic way of reaching, using insights, saying what does this person really like? What do they have affinities for? And can I then predict that this person who's going to watch this piece of content is going to be a good consumer for you? But today, as we are in this generative era, it's really become far more intelligent. And please take photographs of this slide and post it with hashtag PMAR2025 with me on it, because this really, I feel, is a way in which most of the agile marketers or the really forward marketers are thinking today. It starts with data, first party data. It starts with how you can, I've come across now a new terminology in the recent 6 months. There are now house of brands which have data poor brands and data rich brands. And they're thinking of cross-pollinating those. So it's all starting with data for a marketer in this intelligent era. Then it becomes about running the right analysis, which then gives you the right insight. Then it allows you to target the right person with the right message at the right moment, far, far more efficiently. And sitting in between all of this is this amazing continuum of consumption screens, right? We all have this fancy mobile. I'm willing to give you a 5-second break if you want to check your WhatsApp message or give the OTP to the Amazon guy. But we all, are addicted pretty much to our mobile phones in one way or another. We have, good old traditional TV, all that free TV debate that we had this recently. But right in the middle of all of this is this connected TV. In fact, a few years ago, a whole lot of people actually started to make dumb televisions a lot more smarter. And, I think that's going to get second wind very soon is what I feel. But the connected TV is just amazing. How many of you here have like an iPhone? Yeah, so you guys have spent lakhs on it. Now, you could actually put a connected TV in every room of your house with that kind of money today. So think about connected TV not just as a TV which is in that living room, but literally anywhere you want it, where your kid now probably has a connected TV in their room. Your grandparents, if you live in a joint family, have a connected TV in their room. So we're seeing, consumption change in very interesting manners. So it's no longer about the household. It's back to the individual with a connected TV, right? And obviously, if you're watching OTTs, you have now multiple logins, right? Because you want to preserve your history. You want to know what your wife is watching, but you want your own history. So you all have multiple logins. So even if you have one television, it's creating multiple consumption experiences for everybody in the family. So it's really important to understand all those nuances that are happening in that house right now. It always helps to learn from slightly mature markets. So this is from eMarketer, I think, and the US has 230 million CTV users. That's about 70% of the population, right? So that's where this market can go at this point of time, and I want to dive in with some numbers. This is, again, usually that source is kept in 5 points, but I've made it a little big to say that it's a third-party research that we were also a part of, a Kantar iCube or a Kantar Google report. There are about 90 million connected TV users in India. Again, these are users. I'm not talking about physical connected TVs, nor am I talking about households. I'm talking about 90 million connected TV users. 61% of urban CTV viewers are actually concurrent viewers, meaning they're watching a lot of things at the same time. And interestingly, 33% of urban CTV viewers are cord cutters, as Ashish Sehgal would call it, TV killers, right? In that sense. So they are cord cutters. So very interesting market that's kind of getting created around CTV. We have a lot more visibility on what is happening on YouTube, obviously. It is the #1 platform on connected televisions. This is our stated number, which is 60 million people streamed YouTube on their TV screens in India in the recent past. 50% of YouTube CTV time is, of a long duration, 21 minutes and more. And 2.5 hours of average daily logged in viewers time is spent per day. So a lot of consumption happening on CTV at this point of time. And, because of the way it's evolving, YouTube, sorry, Ashish, while you were away, I cracked a few jokes at your expense as well. And I'm waiting for you to take back those wild accusations. So some more details, and we have a lot more insights. At the end of this, there will be a code that you can scan, and that should give you a lot more information and things like that. But the other thing is, when you think about Google, YouTube, it's not about our platform. It's also about a way in which we are able to get their entire ecosystem to the advertiser. So through our products like DV360, programmatic buying and things like that, the entire connected TV universe or consumption is available to you. Whether it is YouTube or JioCinema or Sony Z5, it's possible for a media planner to actually have a very, very connected TV focused media plan with some amazing numbers. And Vikram's special request to me was that, please show some numbers and show how measurement is working. So I have some of that coming as well, Vikram. And again, a lot of good technology in there that takes care of frequency capping. There was a recent report out in Ken, which talked about something else. Some examples: if you had a meager budget of 2.7 crores, you could actually reach 51 odd million people with that budget, right? With a very good impression count, average frequency of 5.8. And these are the kind of reach curves that we are seeing on some of these campaigns that have recently happened. More of this. There's a product called the Masthead. So 60 million impressions. You could actually reach 20 million people on just one weekend. Again, multiple formats, and I won't sweat all the details here, but I have a few slides which illustrate that. The masthead is a very powerful product. You all have bought a YouTube masthead at some point of time or the other. It gives you amazing reach. Same on CTV as well, right? Gives you a very rich environment to kind of, and again, all the other OTTs also have similar products which you can then use on CTVs. I'm going to kind of skip to save a little bit of time. The other interesting thing, and all of you are thinking about your IPL plans at this point of time, you actually have non-skips as well on CTV, right? There are advertisers who believe in the theory of non-skip, and then there are advertisers who believe in the theory of skip. So you have non-skip as well on CTV. It's a lot of interactivity that is getting built, and as I said, right, we are probably 3 or 4 years into the CTV revolution. 90 million people in India, but look at where it is in America, and look at all the kind of product innovation that will come here. Simple things like driving actionability through phones, and this is quite fantastic. This is a case that is public now, and it just happened about 3-4 weeks ago with Kia, the car for Seltos. There was a QR code, and that actually drove increased conversion rate, OTP verified conversion rate, I've been asked to clarify, 3.6x than normal. So again, a very powerful, not just brand building, but an amazing opportunity to drive action on CTV. There's a lot of measurement, and I'll keep this slide but not go into too much detail. There's a lot of measurement that you now have, right? Earlier, Harit had a very interesting acronym or a full form for the TV measurement system. First time I heard it, but the kind of measurement now you have is to the power of million of that. Because if you have a campaign that delivers 250 million impressions, every impression is measurable. Every impression is identifiable. So all of that now happens on CTV. And again, this benefits the entire industry. More importantly, for our customers, it gives them a lot more efficiency and the ability to have something that is so measurable. I'll skip a couple of these. You can also measure brand lift on CTV. These are all common ways in which we measure lift across digital platforms, also possible on CTV. And also, typically sometimes you have campaigns where you don't specify that it's just a connected TV campaign. You can do only connected TV campaigns. But when you have campaigns which are generally targeting video users, you also have campaigns that will land on CTV. Now imagine where you've done all of that data analysis that I talked about, and I'm going to show you a video which again I won't play, but you all remember that Shah Rukh Khan ad which Mondelez kept winning awards for even till this year, where they did that AI lip sync and they got Shah Rukh Khan to mention, or that voice to mention, a different outlet. But what most people don't know is, what most people don't know is that 110,000 ad units were created in that campaign, which were meticulously targeted to pin codes across the country. So the power of having the right data, having the right insight, and then using solutions like this to not just target a consumer on video, but also on the connected TV, on a large screen and things like that, it just opens up the opportunities for your brand. There are now advanced data mining platforms like ADH, which allow you to get insights not just on our own platforms, but across third-party publishers. So a lot of insight there. Some case studies here, again, I won't sweat much of the details, but I think here it talked about how it targeted, it was a really well-targeted campaign. And this is another case study that I have from Jio Cinema and many others. I won't sweat all the details. I just want to end again with this slide. I won't play the video, but as a marketer, this is the moment, right? We owe it to our customer to create the best possible media plan for them using the best possible platforms, whether it is FTA, pay TV, whether it is CTV, whether it is digital and all of that. But the accountability on us is higher. And if you've seen the kind of growths that we had last year, can we beat those growth numbers? I dare say yes, we can beat those growth numbers purely by becoming even more accountable and responsible as an industry. I'll leave you with that, and thank you very much. I think I saved us a lot of time. Thank you so much.